Hey guys, so for this module, just talking about the Google 101 things. I think Google does a lot of things that help us as health professionals in the future. And some of the things that they provide that I think I will use most in the future and will help me the most includes Google Forms, Google Hangouts, and Google Scholar. Maybe a little bit of Google Trends, but that is definitely a new concept to me, so it'll take a little bit of practice for me to get used to that. But for the Google Scholar, I definitely love research, and I love seeing the new research and studies that come out. So I love using Google Scholar, whether it's for providing people with info and keeping up with new studies, or if it's for a class assignment. So I feel that as I go into the health professional world, I will continue to look at Google Scholar for recent updates in health and community wellness, just new ways that we can approach things, new psychological finds, whatever it may be. And then for Google Hangouts, I think this is a really great option for anyone who doesn't want to use Zoom, doesn't have an iPhone to do FaceTime and whatnot, as I am an Android user, and so it's really hard to do FaceTime, and sometimes Zoom is just difficult for people to use where they have to download the app, or the computer's being weird and not letting Zoom work. So I think Google Hangouts is really great, and I also find the Google Hangout app to be easier to use than the Zoom app. So I personally like Google Hangouts a lot, but I know that it is a little different to schedule meetings and stuff, but I still think that I'll definitely use that for certain clients that wish to do that rather than Zoom or whatnot. And then Google Forms is also something I know I will definitely use. I've already used it a lot throughout my profession and stuff, and I just love using Google Forms because you can do surveys for what people want to see. You can do post surveys for how they like satisfaction surveys to see how they liked your survey or your study program, whatever you're doing with them. And so it just can provide you with a lot of information on what the participants and clients want to see, what they did see and liked or didn't like, and all of that type of stuff. And then you can even use it for pre-assessments. So if you did a Zoom meeting with them and then you sent them the pre-assessment form after your Zoom meeting or before so that you could talk about the form, it's just an easy way to gather information, because you can text out the link, you can email out the link, you can share it with them. It's just really easy for people to use, and then it also goes ahead and combines it into graphs and easy to read info for you. So I personally really love Google Forms. And so those are the three that I think I will definitely use as a health professional. And honestly, I do not know that many Google tools that were not mentioned. Some of these were pretty new to me, such as the Google Trends. So I'm not sure that I know of any others that aren't already being used or mentioned, because I am like an old grandma sometimes when it comes to technology. But I think, moving on to the next question, I think Google is very effective with marketing and whatnot. And I think it can really, using Google to your advantage can really help build your professional life, and your business. I know that there's the Google thing where you can put yourself on the map as a business. It gives everyone info to your business, your phone number, your website, and you can update it. You can answer client questions, and whatnot. And it's just really great way to get your business out there, and advertise for yourself. And I think Google is just very overall business oriented. It's really good at keeping you up to date and keeping you up with the trends, but also giving you articles and whatnot that apply to you, because I mean, they do watch us. So I think they really target the audience very well, almost too well sometimes, but I feel that they really target the right audience based on your recent search history and stuff like that, so you can find out more about your profession that you're in. And then any concerns that I have with Google tools in the future, I'm not sure that I have any concerns yet. I think there's always just the concern of safety online. If my client was to give me confidential information over some Google platform, I mean, I'm always going to be worried that what if it gets hacked somehow, which I know that say that like the Google Hangouts is super secure, and it can't be broken into, but I know there's always a potential for it to happen. So I think that's something I'm always going to be cautious of, is not getting my clients to submit confidential important information over Google tools and whatnot, just for their sake and for mine, so that just in case anything happened, it would be good to go.